All right. So it looks like we're going to keep continuing this journey. First of all, I want to thank all of you who reached out and commented, DM'd me, supported that last video that came out where I was experimenting with this new format. That seemed to be really well received by the greater community. I had lots of outreach from that and lots of support to keep going in this direction, where everyone found this content really helpful or insightful or made you think a little bit. And that's kind of the idea, really. So we're going to continue down this road together, and today we're going to be discussing a topic that has helped me immensely on my own journey, and I think you guys are really going to love it. This video goes out to all us creators who may be scared, or in my case, totally crippled by fear of releasing content out into the public domain. I'm talking about sharing stuff on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, SoundCloud, wherever. Any place where you're going to be seen or heard and quite possibly judged by the public eye. And although I'm kind of talking to the music producer community here, I suppose, this really rolls over into any form of art or anything that you find important that you want to share with the world. So when I say content, I'm talking about music, film, photo, visual art, digital art, dance, a blog, a vlog, solving a freaking Rubik's Cube. It doesn't really matter. What's important here is that you're a creator. This stuff is important to you and you're not sharing it with the world. This one's for you. So I want to bring you back a few years to 2018. Back then, I was at a pretty tough period of my life where I just left my own business, something that I'd poured 6 years of my life into, and I went off to work 100% for myself. It was a really tricky transitional period for me, but something that I knew I needed to do in order to be happy. At the time of deciding to work for myself 100% and start developing my own brand and my own artistry, I was really excited, but at the same time, I realized just how out of practice I was. See, I started this YouTube channel back in 2011, where I posted jam videos of me just messing around in the studio on these musical ideas. It was this awesome discovery time for me where I was learning how to use Ableton Live and I was gaining a lot of confidence with the gear I was using. And I just absolutely loved sharing that with the world. As my business started growing and things started going really well for us, I kind of got carried away with the whole entrepreneurial dream stuff, and my creative side just got totally neglected. Funnily enough, the business that I started was a DJ and music production school where I taught people to do what I do. The thing is, the more I was developing the business and the more I was teaching other people to develop their own artistry, I realized just how much I was neglecting my own. So back in 2018, I would have been 35. I reached a point where I was just like, I don't have anything that I can show for all these years that I put into my craft. You know, as a DJ, as a drummer in bands for many years, as an electronic music producer, I had a bunch of experiences and a lot of lessons that I'd learned along the way, but not much solid material that I could show for it. This was an epic turning point for me, one which spawned a whole world of change. So I left my own business to go work full-time on my own brand, my own image, and develop my own artistry, making and releasing music. The thing is, I hadn't really made any music outside of a classroom for 5 or 6 years. Nothing that I'd made was any more than a 2-bar loop that I'd thrown immediately in the trash after the lesson was finished. I certainly hadn't shared any music with anyone in who knows how long. So I kind of had to start from scratch all over again. And this is where the struggle really began. I was so badly out of practice that everything that I made just sound cheesy. Everything I made just sounds so amateurish. Not only that, I was struggling to figure out exactly what kind of avenue I wanted to go down. I was making these cross-genre tracks that was a little bit of disco, a little bit of house, a little bit of electro, a little bit of deep stuff. It was just a mess. And not only that, I had this enormous pressure that I put on myself as an educator who teaches this stuff, that what I did release would have to be at the this exceptionally high quality. And that's a really uncomfortable place to be in because, you know, as they say, those who can do, those who can't teach. The anxiety was building up, feelings of worthlessness, being a fraud, imposter syndrome, all this kinds of stuff haunted me day in and day out. And I was crippled with the idea of what people would think of this rubbish music I was making. What would my students think and what would my peers think? Things actually got so bad for me that I underwent multiple sessions with a guidance coach just to get me out of this rut that I was in. And it seems super cringy to look back on it now. And I remember my coach even asking me during one of our sessions, he's like, is this really? Is this why you're here? Because you're worried about what other people might think of you? And I was like, yep. And he was like, oh, okay. I just wanted to be clear. Here I was with my first world problems, completely crippled with fear of pursuing something that I love doing, just at the thought of what others might think of me and my work. Now, to be honest, I can't really remember where I came up with this or how I came up with this. Maybe I read it somewhere in a blog or watched another YouTube video. I'm not entirely sure. I'm usually pretty good at remembering that stuff. But this one simple question changed my life completely. And the question was, is there anything else you would rather be doing? And my answer to that was no. There was nothing else I would rather be doing. And talk about a one-stop shop, this totally changed my perspective forever. Was there anything else I would rather be doing? It was so simple. It wasn't travel, it wasn't start a family or any of that stuff. I wanted to keep doing what I was already doing. There was nothing else more important to me. This changed everything. Now I couldn't care less about what other people think. I want to share what I do with as many people as possible. I want planes flying over to be like dropping my latest release on a USB stick that falls down into people's hands. I want the world to know about what I do, and whatever comes next, good or bad, isn't important. If they love it, great. If they hate it, great. It doesn't matter. What matters is that it's important to me and it's important for me to share it. I have to, because I know what it looks like when I don't. When you're just getting started, it's really hard to not dwell on the opinions of others. There's no denying that the internet can be a brutal playing field with plenty of sad, lonely keyboard warriors out there just looking to cut you down. But at the same time, that's the price you pay for fighting in the arena and not sitting on the sideline. We're going to keep doing what's most important to our soul's evolution, whether they like it or not, because it's coming from the inside and no one can take that away from us. So for all those creators out there who aren't sharing what's most important to them, just ask yourself this simple question: is there anything else you would rather be doing? And if there is, then go do that thing. But if there isn't, and you're not acting out of fear of what other people might think, then I think you know what you need to do. Bam! Man, when did I become a motivational speaker? That was not my intention with this. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was pretty awesome. I love talking about this stuff. I get quite passionate and get quite into it because this stuff's important to me and I really want to share it with you, and I'd love to hear from you as well. I would love if you drop a comment below. Let me know where you are on your own journey. Let me know if you're having trouble with this, and I'm here to help. I'd love to start a conversation with you. You can hit me up on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you like. If you did like this video, then please remember to subscribe. It really does help. And be sure to give this video a thumbs up also. Until next time, keep creating. Bye for now.